Good morning, students. Yesterday we have started the third chapter from book 1, Fundamentals of Human Geography. We will continue with the same chapter, that is population composition. We were discussing about the different components, and one of the components which we had already discussed, that is sex composition. Today's topic is the second component. If you remember, we were talking about nearly 6 components in this chapter. So the second component is age composition and age in sex pyramid. In the beginning of the chapter, I said that all these components are measurable components which help us to compare the people of one region with the people of other. So the first topic of today, that is age composition, refers to dividing the population according to age. So if we divide the population according to age, there are 3 broad classifications. One is 0 to 50, 15 to 59, 59 and above. Now the question comes, why we need to get data regarding or divide the population into 3 categories. Now if we see this 3 divisions of population which are given, you will notice that the first one, that is 0 to 15, is the category of children. 15 to 59 is the category of youth, old. So it means this category of 15 to 59 is the category of working population. This is the category of dependent. This is also a category of dependent population. Now this is a very important component of population, because to know or to start a planning system in a country, whether the planning regarding the economic structure or the social structure, we need to know the number of people in each category. If we know the number of children in a country or in a region, we can allocate resources for their education, which is very important, and then the nutrition support which they require, as well as, because it starts with 0, hospitals to provide maternity support. So it means we need to know the children, number of children in a country, because we will be planning our system accordingly. Not only this, the demand of different kinds of products will also depend on the number of children. The baby food production, the production of diapers, the amusement parks, the elementary schools, primary schools, the number of teachers required. So all these things depends on the number of children in a region. Next we come to working population. If we know the number of people between 15 to 59, It means we have to think about generating employment. Not only about employment, we also have to know they are the one most important because they are the taxpayers. They are asset to the nation. For example, all of you must be getting it in the news that India in the world today has the maximum number of youth population. So it has an added advantage for India. It can not only export goods, now we can start exporting our manpower, which will be required by many other countries. So if we know the number of working population, we know how many employment sectors are required, skill based activities will be required to generate so that we can get involve them. Now the last category, the number of people in the old age. Now this is a category of dependent population for a different reason, because we have to provide them health schemes, insurance, pension. So that's why it has been considered as one of the important component of population. Each and every country need to know the number of people in 3 different categories, that is the children 0 to 15. Please children, you should remember the age gap or the age criteria to consider to be children, the age criteria for working population, the age criteria for the dependent population. I hope it's clear, the table is clear. We move to the next one. Now the next one is about the age and sex pyramid. As the word pyramid, you are familiar with the word pyramid, it means it more or less looks like a pyramid. So what are the other things in that? Age and sex pyramid you will find is something like this. I'm sure you must have received your books. So there are few figures on age and sex pyramid. You will find there are bars stacked one above the other like this. Each bar, in the same way, the left hand side also has bars. So each bar represents the number of male. If we talk about the left hand side, male, the right hand side, female. If you talk about the colors, you will find it is represented by blue color, it is represented by pink. On the horizontal bar, you will find number of people starting from 0, suppose 15, 30, 45. That is the number of people in different bars, same way. Now the vertical bar stack which is here represent the different age group. Usually it is taken with a 5 years age group. So 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30. In this way we go on 60 plus. So because it is, you can see the shape is in pyramid, we call it a pyramid. Sex, because we are showing both the genders, male as well as female. And why we say age and sex, because you can see the age category has been shown here clearly to know which age group has how many males and how many females. Now why we are going to draw, or why countries have prepared a population pyramid diagram, because it's a graphical illustration. Basically, age and sex pyramid is a graphical illustration showing the age and the sex of population. So what are the information you get? The first information, definitely you can know the number of children. So you will know the birth rate. How many people have reached this age? So you can know about the life expectancy. It means you are knowing about the death rate. Number 4, if you know the birth rate and death rate, if you remember in the first chapter we have done natural growth of population. What is natural growth of population? Birth rate minus death rate. If birth is more than death rate, positive growth of population. So whether there is a positive growth or there is a negative growth in population, that is clear from these population pyramids. So basically, a population pyramid, why it is important? Because it is an important indicator of the population structure, and it will give you a lot of information because you will know the number of youth, and it gives us information about your country is in which stage of demographic transition. We have done this topic in the first chapter. I'll just remind you once again what is demographic transition. It means each and every country moves from a rural agrarian society having high birth rate and high death rate to a urban literate society with low birth and low death rate. So you will also know the stage of demographic transition. Now in the first picture which I have drawn here is a picture of expanding population pyramid. This kind of pyramid, the characteristic will be a wide base. You can see here the base is wide. From 0 to 15 you can find the base is wide. It means birth rate is extremely high. As you go up, it has tapered down, narrowed down. So it means life expectancy is low, death rate is high. So if birth rate is high and death rate is high, it gives you a picture of which kind of countries. These are the countries which are still developing countries. For example, Nigeria, and they are in the first stage of demographic transition. There will be a possibility of population explosion if countries remain with this kind of population pyramid, because there is a wide base. It means number of children are more, they will reach the reproductive age, they will bear more children, and it will create problem of population explosion. And with population explosion, we will find there will be scarcity of resources, there will be ecological problems, environmental problems. So these kind of population pyramids are known as expanding population pyramid. Next in your book is given a population pyramid a little different from this. That is, it is not in the shape of exactly a pyramid, but you will find the shape has little change into a the population pyramid has changed, and it is giving you a shape of a bell. If you notice, this kind of population pyramid which is in bell shape, the birth rate you will find number of children is low and number of death is also low. So the characteristic of this kind of population is birth rate is equal to death rate. And when birth rate becomes less and death rate becomes less equal, it means population growth has become stable. These countries will have a problem of small population, and it happens with advancement in their literacy. Example, Australia. And these pyramids, instead of expanding, they will be known as constant population pyramid. So I'm repeating once again, in constant population pyramid you will find the base, which was very wide in expanding, has again become narrow. The wideness can be seen, the bulge can be seen in between 15 to 35, and again it narrows down at the top. So birth rate in these type of countries is equal to death rate, and when birth and death rate are equal, the country's natural growth is not increasing and the population scenario has become stable. These countries have a small population, for example Australia. Now we talk about the last one, which is the population pyramid of a very significant country, the most developed countries now in the world, one of the most developed countries in the world, that is, if you notice Japan's population pyramid, we all know about Japan, that it is a country full of technology, a technological advanced country where the birth rate as well as death rate shows an important characteristic. The birth rate has declined as well as decline in the death rate, because the life expectancy is high. Japan is one such country which has the highest life expectancy, nearly 90 years. So because these are the two characteristics, the population pyramid of Japan is somewhat like this. So you will find this is the shape of the pyramid, which is known as the, in some books you will find kite shape, or in some places you will see it is also known as diamond shape. The birth rate, you can see, has declined, the death rate is also low, and the problem with this kind of population pyramid is a declining trend. If birth rate declines more than the death rate, we have learned in the first chapter, if birth rate is less than the death rate, we will find there is negative growth in population. So population will have a problem, that is, these countries will have a problem of more and more population, which is now at this stage, that is the stage of 35 to 50. Very soon in coming years they will be reaching the age of 50 to 70, and then all the taxpayers, because this is very narrow, this cannot fulfill the demand which is required here, they will have a problem of working population, shortage of working population. In one of the island town in Japan, because there was scarcity of laborers, they have turned that industry or factory into a factory of laborers, but these laborers are not human power, rather they are robots. So that can be a condition in coming years in Japan, because they have a declining population growth, where population has declined tremendously because birth rate has declined. So these kind of population pyramids gives us a lot of information regarding the fertility and mortality rate, regarding the number of working population, and by working population you can know the economic growth of that nation. That's all for today's class. Thank you.